Hello and a huge welcome to this video. I'm Scorpion from How To Do, and in this video we will be learning how to make a car system in Unity using Playmaker. So it means without writing any code. So in the previous videos we made this jump system, this whole character. We can walk around and we can look around, and I guess this is the sixth part on GTA series. So in this video we will be learning how to add a car so that our character, which is right over here, can drive the car and move around and do stuff. So let's get started. So if you have a car, then that is really cool. However, if you don't have a car, then you can have it by just it's already there. You just have to go to assets, import asset, and you can go to vehicles, and there you can install or import the Unity standard assets car. However, which is over here, this one. So here we have an aircraft as well as a car. All right, an aircraft as well as a car. We can use this one. So let's just go ahead and import everything. So import import, and it's gonna take some time because it's gonna import some scripts, it's gonna import and calculate everything and compile the scripts and all that. So it's gonna take some time, and there we go. So now our project has this kind of a folder over here which says standard assets, and if you go in there we have this cross platform, and I will tell you what it is. Then we have editor, and then we have vehicles. So in the editors we have a class platform input script, and then in the vehicles we have the actual vehicles. So we have aircraft and we have also a car, and inside the car we have different folders, but you have to go to the prefabs, and there we have a car, a water sorry, a car waypoint, which is an AI, and then we have a skid track. So we have to use this car because we can control this car, and this car is an AI which we can set the path so that it can follow the path. So yeah, we will use this later so that we have some kind of a traffic system or something. We can use that in there, but now we're going to use this car. So we can drag and drop it inside over here, and here we have a car. All right, and then if I take, or we can just go ahead and take the car as well as the player. Where's the player? And we can take them both down over there. All right, so now if you play the game, you will see immediately that the car is gonna move as we move. So there we go, we can control the car as well as the character. Okay, but we don't want that because we don't want the car to move on its own. But as you can see, if I pause the game, there was a skid tire over here. So the car is pretty much cool. All right, the standard assets car is really cool. So we don't have to make our own car because it takes a lot of skill to make that, because the car has different animations and different that, and you can see it over here how much of the script is over there. So we don't have to waste our time doing that. We already have that asset by the Unity. So Unity has given us this thing. Okie dokie. So now as you can see, there is no way to control this car. We have WASD, however there is no WASD in the Android device. So in order to do that, okay, so and then the inside the cross platform input we have prefabs, and in there we have car tilt control, which means we can control the car by rotating our device. And then we have a dual touch, which also means we can touch we can touch dually. And then we have mobile aircraft, single joystick, and again mobile tilt control rig. So what we can do is we can go to our joystick canvas. So let's just hit F, and there we go. And this is what we made in the previous video. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead, click the link in the description box below and see that first, because this is the sixth part and I have done a lot in the previous videos. So go ahead and check that out. So if we drag and drop the car tilt control inside the joystick canvas, we can see right away there are two kind of boxes over here. or if I take it out, okay, it's okay, sorry, we don't have to put it inside the joystick canvas because this already is a canvas car tilt control, so we don't have to do that. So let's just disable the joystick canvas and let's see the car tilt control. So there's nothing actually inside it, we cannot see anything because these are disabled. I don't know why. They are disabled because we are not in the mobile input. Alright, so we are on Windows mode right now, so we have to go to File, Build Settings, and from here we have to switch platform to Android. So if you don't see it, you can go to, you know, there's an option over here to download the mobile input, and also you can, let me just see, wait a second, I'm gonna go ahead and search something just now for you guys, and it is, here we go. So you may have this Unity download assistant, because I'm using that. You have to download that in order to download Unity, so you can double click that and it will ask you permission, so yes, and then say next and accept it, and next, and there you can see Android build support. So in order to download that, you can disable everything and download the Android build support. It's only 232 M, which okay, 1.1 GB. all right, so it's not that big, so you can download it easily. Okay, so if you are on iOS, you can also download this one, but you can download Android build support from here, from the download assistant, and then cancel it. And then what you have to do is you have to come in here and switch platform to Android, and it will of course take a lot of time, so I'm gonna pause the video so that we don't have to waste time on our video. And now, as you can see, when we switched platform from Windows to Android, we can see all of these things. So if I maximize this, we can see there's one button over here, one button over here, and there's a thing over here, which means, you know, we can tilt the device, and I think it will represent the device tiltation or something. I don't know, but I don't think so we'll need this one. So where is it? Okay, so it's look up and down touchpad. Oh, okay, so we can use this to control our camera, but I don't think so it will look beautiful over there, sitting over here. So I can just go ahead and disable the image, as well as I don't think so we will need this one for now, so let's just disable that. Okay, and if I now open up Unity and maximize it right now, and now you can see if I press this one, the character or the car will go in front and over. And you can see the smoke and all that. It's really cool. So yeah, so now we can control the car using these buttons. Okay, and so now we have these two you know, canvas. So one is for the player and one is for the car. Cool. So now we can disable and enable that on our build. So let's disable the car tilt controls for now, and then we can go to car. And what we need, I have already made this video on how to enter and exit from car, like GTA and all that. I haven't made a animation thing, but I already have made some kind of a thing over here, but I'm gonna repeat it because there may be new people over here, and you know, just for safety. So if I enable the car tilt controls for now, you know, just to show you, and disable that one, so we can now control the car, right? But how? Okay, all right, so if I disable the car tilt right now, there's no way to control the car, right? Am I right? Yes, I am. If I enable the joystick right now, there we go, so we can control our character, however the car remains over there. So that is pretty easy, right? If I jump, okay, that's cool. I can jump over the car, and this is what we made in the previous videos. Yeah, so I cannot control the car right now because I'm controlling the player. do that. How to do that is we have to go ahead and inside the car we have to create a 3 empty object, and I'm gonna go ahead and oh come on, disable this one, and this empty object will say trigger, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a new component box collider, and then I'm gonna go in this view and I'm gonna make this little bigger so that this covers the you know, the car doors. This will cover the car doors, and then I'm gonna make it trigger by clicking that. So trigger is actually a collider which does not like, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me just quickly show you guys watching this video. This scene, you can see we can move through this collider without colliding. However, this collider just stores the information that we are colliding with, so it does not collide, it just stores the information. Alright, so we're gonna use this information that there's something in here, right? Okay, that is cool. Let's call it trigger. Trigger, and I'm gonna go ahead and add an FSM in here in the trigger. So if you don't know how to what is FSM and how to do that, go ahead and click the link in the description box below and see my previous videos, and there you will find out how to do that, how to install Playmaker, where to get it, and you know, how to do it all free, because Playmaker is the thing that helps us make games without writing any code. So this, everything over here is made with Playmaker, just except this car. Okie dokie, now we can do is we can say trigger event, this one, enter that, and we're gonna say user owner because the trigger is the user owner and the trigger is on enter. So whenever the player enters the trigger, the collider tag should be player, and let's just go ahead and make sure our player also has the collider tag. So player and player. Okay, so player has the player tag, and then the trigger also says that if something with the tag of player collides in this box over here or over here, then we have to send an event, and that event will be show. It can be anything, but I'm gonna just make it a little descriptive. Show the button, show button, and that button will be the enter button. So let's just go ahead and make a new state, add transition, show button to that. All right, and let's just make it a little bigger so that we can see what's happening in here. And in here we want our button over here to show somewhere over here, so let's just quickly make that button. Go to joystick over here and drag and drop the button. So this one, this is my button, how to do touch system button. You can find it in how to do. I'm gonna tell you again how to do first one, touch controls, prefab, touch controls, prefabs, and button. All right, so if you don't have how to do touch system, go ahead and click the link in the description box below and download it for free, because this is what I made for you guys to make games on Android without writing any code using Playmaker. So when I do that, there we can see there's a new button over here. However, the position of it is not cool, so let's just go ahead and bring it up a little, and then we can make it bigger so that we can see. And of course we can go in here and find a door PNG, car door PNG, sorry, car door PNG vector, and let's just go ahead and download any one of it. So let me just go ahead and do that. Come in here, it's not PNG, maybe this one is PNG. Yep, so save image as, and PNG car door, save it. And then we have to drag and drop it inside of Unity. There we go, bam and wham. Cool. It's gonna take some time. There we go. There we have a car door PNG, and make sure you do sprite 2D and UI and apply so that the background is removed and only the door is remaining. And then we're gonna select the button and we can change the button to the door. so that we have some kind of a thing like that. And of course we can also add an image, UI image, and this one should be a knob. Where is it knob? There we go. And we can decrease this thing so that we can see the car door. There we go. Cool. Of course you can make it more beautiful if you have time, because I don't have time. So okay, alright, cool. So it looks good. So now what we can do is we can rename this button to car door, and we can also change the name from here to enter, because we're gonna enter the car. And we're gonna copy this name, Control C, edit, project settings, input, and increase this number with 22. I have already done this and I have already explained this in the previous videos, so I'm not gonna explain it again and again. We have to paste it in here. Joystick number 3, I guess it is good. I think it's good. I don't have to do anything in here. And come back and make sure both of the spellings are same, this one and this one. Alright, and when that's done, we have to come back to trigger, edit, and we have to say activate game object, and the game object which one activate is this car door. Alright, and copy this thing and paste it in the start tab, so that, and make it move the action to the top, and make sure the car door is off when the game starts. Alright, so when we play the game right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and select my player. Where is it? Player, and make it a little out so that we do not collide with this trigger, and we have to of course make it a little up. And now if you play the game, let me just go ahead and do that so that we can see the trigger over here, and I think it should work actually. So now you can see there is no car door over here, and if I move in here and when I collide inside the trigger, we can see there is a new car door over here, and we are in the second state. Cool, so it's working. And now what we want to do is we also want to copy this thing and paste it in here, and we're gonna say nope and delete the transition. Sorry, I did that. And we want to say on trigger exit. So if the player gets out of the trigger, we don't have to see this. Like I'm gonna show you right now quickly. If I go in there, and now we can see the car trigger, but if I come out of the trigger, the car button is still over there, and we don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say when the player exits the trigger, we're gonna say hide the button. Alright, and make the transition and go back. So whenever the player will get inside the trigger, the button will be shown, and when it gets out of the car trigger, the button will be disabled. Alright, enable and disable. So now the button is disabled, now it's enabled, now it's disabled, now it's enabled, and it's gonna work. So that is cool. And I can also take the trigger and make it a little bigger. Okie dokie. So far it's really working. And then what we're gonna say is we're gonna say get, or we can say how to do get button down. So which means if we press the button, and the button which you want to press is the enter, and make sure the spellings are the same, because it's not gonna give you any error, and that will be really bad. So we're gonna enter the car. So enter the car, and we're gonna make a new state and enter the car. Alright, so it is when we enter the trigger, we're gonna come in here, and it's gonna check if the player presses the button enter, and when it does, we're gonna come in this state. And in this state, we're gonna say activate game object, and the game object which we want to activate is the car tilt controls. So go ahead and do that and activate. And I also want to disable the joystick canvas system, so disable that. And I also want to disable the player, so I'm gonna go ahead, and I think I should disable the whole player setup, but there will be no camera of course, but we will see about that later. Okay, I think it will work, kind of work, but of course there will be no camera, so I think I should for now, let's just go ahead and drag and drop the player inside over here instead of the player system, and I'm gonna shorten this up. And now we can see the 3 states, and if I play the game right now and if I select the trigger so that we can see what is happening. So if I get inside the trigger, so we can see that we are in the 2nd state and the button is over here, and when I select that, the player is vanishes, which is disabled, and the joystick also is joystick setup also is disabled, and the car tilt controls are enabled. However, there is an error over here which says actually is happening over here. If I go to edit project settings input, there is already this thing over here. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to what we can do is we can go to edit project settings input, and here you can see there's horizontal and vertical, the second one, not the first one. So this is what we should do is we should go ahead and change this name. So let me just go ahead and change the name with small h for horizontal and small v for vertical, and then we also have to come to the joystick here, and we also have to change it to small h and small v, so that the names for the horizontal and vertical for this character and horizontal and vertical for this guy are different. And then also make sure you go to the player edit, and this is what we made in the previous videos, and here we have the how to do get access vector, and we also have to change it to small h and also on small v. And now I think it should work. Our player should walk, and there we go, so it's walking. And now if I get inside the car, there's no error, and we can also move around, and bam. Alright, so now what we need is let me just go ahead and go inside the car, or not inside the car actually, go in there. So I cannot control the camera right now, and the only thing we can do is move the car like that. And of course, if we are inside the mobile device, we can also rotate the car using the tilt controls. However, the camera is still over there and we cannot do much, so there should be another camera over here. All right, so in order to do that, we can go and say assets, import package, and then there's cameras over here. So go ahead and do that and import everything, and it should not take much time. And when it's done, come on, there we go. So there's a new camera folder over here, and when we go there, we have a prefab, and then we have a multi-purpose camera. So we have to go ahead and drag and drop it in here, and as you can see, the camera changes to the multi-purpose camera, and we have to set it for the car. All right, so go ahead and do that. And we also have to tweak some changes over here. So as you can see, the pivot is over here, which should have been over here. So let's just make the pivot over here, bring the camera out a bit and move it a bit up. There we go. And also we can come to the multi-purpose camera and uncheck that, because our player is also player target player. So, and the car is already done, so we don't have to do anything. And let's just go ahead and disable this player setup and play that and see if the camera is set or not. So if I enable the car tilt controls and play the game, so as you can see, the camera is following the car. That is really cool. And yes, that is cool. Okay, so now what we need is we need to go ahead and bring it near the car. Okay, it's already near the car. We can go inside the trigger, and we can also enable the player setup now, and we can go to the trigger and edit, and in this case we can also enable the multi-purpose camera over here. So enable the multi-purpose camera, and we can also control C this and control V over there and disable the multi-purpose camera, so that the car door and the car multi-purpose camera rig is disabled, and when we come in here it is enabled. And also make sure control C that and control V that, so the car tilt controls are also disabled when the game starts. Okay, and I think it should work right now. So if I go ahead and come in here and play the game and bring the player near the car and get inside the car, you can see there is the camera and it is not perfectly set. So let me just go ahead and set it. So the camera should be little down and little in the center. And where's the pivot? It should be over here in the center, and bring the camera in the center. And then what we can do is we can go ahead and copy the pivot, or we can copy the camera transform copy component, get out of the car, the player movement play mode, and paste the camera values, and then also bring it in a little bit and play now. It should work. So now if I get go inside the car, play, so now the camera is already set really cool, and we can move forward. The camera is following. However, if we reverse the car, the camera does not turn around, which it should, but oh yeah, the camera should turn around so that we can see this. So let's just go ahead and see how we can do that. Follow velocity, turn limit, I think it should be this one. I think if we do that and oh okay, we can do that and follow velocity. Let's just check these both and turn on this protect camera from wall clipping, and it should do the thing. Okay, so let's just go ahead and play the game now, and you will see that if you play the game and go inside the car, there we go, and if we reverse the car, you can see the camera rotates so that we can see in the back, and when the car stops, the camera also the camera also you know, comes back to its place. So yeah, that is cool. So it's working actually quite nicely. So we can go forward and the camera follows, and when we move back, the camera also rotates, and if we come back again forward, the camera rotates back. So that is really cool. So but there's no way to come out of the car, right? So how to do that is we can go ahead and copy this button, car door, and paste it inside the car tilt controls. Alright, so that when the car tilt controls are turned on and the joystick canvas is turned off, still there should be 0 0. Where is the car button? There's no button. Copy again, so copy and paste and drag it in here. So there we go. So now if I disable the joystick canvas, there is still a car button over here, and let me just go ahead and move it somewhere over here so that we can see there is a different button. But you can also change this image so that it says get out of the car or something, but I'm not gonna do that. And now what we can do is we can go to the trigger, car trigger, where is it, car trigger, and edit. And now when we are in here, when we are controlling the car, we're gonna say again, if we get button down, the same get button down, enter car, and this time we're gonna exit the car. So new event, exit. Alright, and make new transition, exit, new state over here, and exit the car. So in order to exit the car, we have to just invert all of these guys, right? So I'm gonna copy these, copy selected actions, and I'm gonna paste the selected actions in here. and we're gonna open them up and invert them one by one. So we want to enable the joystick, disable the multipurpose camera, disable the car tilt controls, and enable the player. Or what I think is I should disable the whole player setup. So drag and drop the player setup in here instead of the player, and also do the same thing in here. So drag and drop the player system over here, and then what we can do is we can just go ahead and do that so that we don't have to see them again. And I'm gonna go ahead and say next frame event, which means after doing all of these actions, we're gonna go and say exit. Let's just do that, exit, and come in here. So I think it should work. So whenever we press the enter button, which is this button, so then we're gonna disable the car tilt controls, joystick, and canvas, and enable the player, and then we're gonna come back. Alright, so that should actually kind of work for now, but there is a little problem that we also have to fix, and I'm gonna fix that in just a second. So play the game right now and we will see that we can go inside the car and get inside the car. Oops, the button is over there. But if I move the car over here and park it somewhere over here, and if I press this button, oops, there we go, there's a little problem over here, and that is player base and the camera base both are disabled, and if I get out of the car they do not get enabled, and that is that. So if we enable that, the camera base, there's some problem over here. So let's just go ahead and see what's happening. Come in here, activate the player. Oops, we have to enable the player setup. So drag and drop the player setup. I think I did that, but why isn't it there? Deactivate the player setup and then activate the player setup, and it should work actually. And if I go in here, go inside the car, and there we go, we can move forward and stop over here, and then we can get out of the car also. Cool. However, the car is over there and we're standing still over here. So this is the problem which I was talking you about, and let's just go ahead and quickly fix that. So in order to do that, we are going to go to the trigger and here, and when we disable the player, we also have to make it the child of the, or make the car parent of the player setup, so that the player is like, if I drag and drop the player setup inside the car, so whenever I move the car, the player will also move with that. Alright, so we want that, but we don't want that to be forever. We just want it when we are inside the car. So let's just go ahead and quickly do that. Go ahead, make a new state, and then we're gonna say, let's say parent, get parent or set parent. Let's set parent, and the parent which we want to set is, specify the game object. We want to set the player setup, and the parent should be the car. Alright, there we go. And so now and then we're gonna say next frame event and exit, or let's just go ahead and say just finished. Alright, finished. And then we're gonna get there, and then when we get out of the car, no, I did it wrong. It should be over here, there, and there, and there. Yeah, and it should be over here. I'm really sorry. Okay, I'm gonna explain. So when we get inside the car, then we want our player to be the the child of the car, and then we're going to disable the player and enable the car, enable the camera. And then when we get out of the car, we want to set parent of the player setup to none. All right, so that, or none, or yeah, to none, so that there's no parent of the car, so it's unparented. And I think it should work. And let me just go ahead and say next frame event and finished. Go in there, finished. Okie dokie. So now if you play and see, it should work actually, but I don't know if it worked. So move it to that, get into the car, and let me just go ahead and move the car over here and get out of the car. There we go, our player is right there, and you can see the car is still moving forward, but our player is not moving forward, which means the player is now not the parent of the car. And if I play the game right now and try to get inside the car, there we go. So if you get inside the car, you can see the player setup is inside the car, so that is cool. Yeah. And if I come over here and start over here, and you can see over here, if I press this, the player get out of the car and also get out of the car from here too. So it is working. Cool. Yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed my video, and in the next video I will see that if I can make the animation for how to get inside the car with the doors and all that stuff. So if I can make that, I will surely make that. Oh, when you saw that, that is really cool. So if I can make the animations and all that, then I will make the tutorial. However, if it is really hard and if I cannot make that, then I will skip that tutorial. Alright, but I think I will make that tutorial, so I don't know. But if you want to learn all of these, then you should subscribe to my channel, and I think the next video will be on how to make enter next animation car, like that. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, then subscribe to my channel, which is how